I wonder what's on the tube.
Welcome back.
Thank you for being a friend.
What you talking about, Willis?
You are a meathead.
Nothing for you.
Welcome to another episode.
Did you forget our intro already?
I forgot. We have a new intro. Don't touch that dial.
Adjust those bunny ears, but don't touch that dial. I'm Jay. That's Nick. And this is...
Sitcom My Face.
And what are we talking about this week, pal?
This week, Jay, we are talking about the ABC sitcom My Wife and Kids with Damon Wayans.
Did you specify the ABC sitcom? Because you're like, we're not talking about my wife and my kids.
Yeah, not my wife, not my non-existent kids, but...
kids. But first, you know, this every 2 weeks thing is kind of nice because it just gives me time to like get the edit done and kind of push it out there a little bit before you have to sit down and really focus on something new.
Exactly.
I think with my old show, I came out the gate way too fast when we were doing Hard to Swallow with JJ Bidwell. We came out and I was like, I want to get a bunch of shit out there real quick so that there's something for everyone when they find it.
It's a content.
Right. And
yep.
After you do that for a while, you do realize, wow, it's nice to you put something out, you let it breathe a little bit, you know, you let it
marinate with the audience a little bit.
Right. Before you bury it under more new shows. So, yeah, it's been cool to we've been, getting some trickles in and getting the views are starting to come in. And it is funny to see which episodes kind of start floating to the top.
Which ones at this point?
The Gilbert one is a big one for us. Friends and Full House, Andy Griffith Show. And then for some reason, the most retention, which I sent you the other day, was 8 Simple Rules.
Surprise, surprise.
Although I did notice something, at least I use Spotify for my podcasting needs. I don't know what you use. But because we're covering some obscure shows, I did notice, especially with that one, there's not like a podcast about 8 Simple Rules that I can find. So if you search the name of the show, we are one of the first things that pop up.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. So yeah,
I'm thinking maybe
other shows that may have a dedicated pod towards, like I'm sure there's like 1,000,000,001 Friends pods. I'm sure Odd Couple. Some of the more known shows will have already like a dedicated pod towards it.
I will give a shout out to Two Chairs No Waiting, my buddy Alan Newsom from the Mayberry Man, the movie, and soon to be the series, does have the podcast. He talks all about everything you could ever want to know, Andy Griffith. So
sweet.
If you are into that, check out that. He's been doing that for quite a few years too. So he's got a lot of content built up there.
Definitely will check that out.
But speaking of which, Mayberry Man, the series, coming to... it just came to Indiegogo. There's an Indiegogo campaign they're working on.
I think they have different levels of participation if you want to, right?
There are different perks and tiers, and my big fat face can be found on one of them. So I was like, oh, wow, I just made it. I just made it there in that lower tier. But yeah, my character's name was Doug, and they have a Doug tier. So there's some cool stuff. There's even tiers to get speaking lines in the movie. So
excellent.
You can do. So check out Mayberry Man, the series on Indiegogo. Their website, I believe I said last time, was mayberrymanmovie.com. If you just Google Mayberry Man, the movie or the series, you'll find it. It's everywhere right now. And they're doing very well. They're, I think, 33% funded in the 4 days they've been up. So
sweet. Way to go.
Yeah, hell yeah. Put me to work, kids. Put me to work.
Looking forward.
Yeah, my childhood was back in full swing this week as I watched the new Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe movie on Paramount
God. How is that one? I'm very curious, being that I don't have Paramount yet.
As I was saying to you before the show, The Paramount Plus app is fascinating because it has all the stuff I want to watch. It has huge library of movies, not only from Paramount, but I'm pretty sure it was Miramax. They bought a bunch of their library. Like they even own Scream and stuff now, so the new Scream's on there. And it runs like shit. It is one of the worst apps I've ever used, and I can't even blame like my TV. Sure, my TV doesn't run apps that well, but it's also on Xbox, which runs those apps very well. Still runs like shit. The phone, the computer, the app just runs like garbage. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. But anyway, the movie itself, it actually got a lot of praise. Did you like?
I have not read anything about it to this point.
I've seen lists saying like, "Oh, it's the best nostalgia bait of the year" and all this, and they're comparing it to Maverick Top Gun a lot.
Oh.
So I mean, it's of course it's the same. It's the same. My review was simply, it's as dumb as you want it to be.
Sweet.
And what do you want from a Beavis and Butthead movie besides hoogie laid?
Cool. yeah.
Fart dick joke, and it's perfectly that. But I guess they're doing a new show. Mike Judge is doing a new show for Paramount Plus, and the movie is simply the way they bridge the gap, because it's going to be in 2022. So in order to explain how they're not adults, they did this movie. So there's a little bit of time travel.
Okay. Sweet.
Wormholes and black holes. But yeah, it's very funny.
Now, did you check out the last series of Beavis and Butthead? Like,
you have the DVD of that even. The one they did in like 2014 or something like that?
Yeah, 2013, 2014. Yeah.
I loved it. And I don't know why it didn't
I thought it was good.
It didn't last very long. I don't know if they just didn't want to do it very long or what.
Yeah, what the plan was on that, or
the first one I remember them back was like there was a
drone
homeless man who they thought was a werewolf, but he was like a crackhead. You remember that?
Yes.
They wanted like eternal life or something, so they kept trying to get the homeless werewolf guy to bite him or some shit. So I think it was like playing on Twilight and all that at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say I watched it and I was like, I really enjoyed that. I feel like an idiot because I really enjoyed that. And then I went to, YouTube and started watching the reviews, and everybody was the same way. Like, oh, I really loved it. And I was like, oh, good. I'm not out of my fucking mind, because it was exactly what I wanted. I mean, you got Butthead in space going, I think the floor's like broken or something, because he's floating. You're like, it's perfect. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want.
And is there a return, a space return of the Great Cornholio?
There is some Cornholio.
Sweet.
Everything you could want. I Beavis and Butthead Do America, I would say is still a little bit better.
Okay.
But,
well, I love that movie, actually.
I love Do
America. I saw it in the theaters when it was out.
Cavity searches all around. It's sad because there's two characters that are kind of an amalgamation of that Robert Stack character from Do America, and it makes you real sad that he's dead. Because they would have brought him back. The way they wrote this, you could tell they would have brought him back. But yeah, other than that, definitely watch it. I mean, and I'll tell you what, don't pay for Paramount Plus because it runs like shit. Go get your 7-day free trial and watch it that way. And watch your South Park movies.
Oh, sweet.
There's like 3 or 4 of them on there now, so.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. With all the new, with them grown up in that.
Streaming Wars is the new one I got to watch. I got a couple days left on my free one, so I got to watch the new South Park movie too.
Yeah, because I was going to say the old South Park movie I have on DVD as well. Bigger, longer, great. And uncut. So
good. And there's a Bob Burgers movie out in theaters that I haven't really heard much about, but every time I want to go, I'm like, I don't know if I can justify going to the theater to watch Bob's Burgers, but I'm intrigued.
Yeah, that's the strange thing too. Like the timing of it was very strange. Like I think it coincided with the release of Top Gun and like a couple of one other movie. So it's okay, so you're not going to be the top like the top movie like now or probably within the next few weeks. So yeah, it might have been a little off timing there.
And I love Bob's Burgers, but yeah, I was actually looking the other day
Same here.
At the listings to go to maybe the drive-in, and it was like the new Jurassic Park and the Black Phone, which looked good to me, and that and like Top Gun, and I'm like, even with a double feature, I probably wouldn't pick Bob's Burgers over any of those.
I got you.
But yeah.
Well, I think it's coming to streaming not too long from now, so I'll
I'll
probably
buy
wind
the
up.
4K when it comes out.
I'll watch it on streaming. Yeah, like you said, I'm a big Bob's Burgers fan as well. Can't wait till like sometime down the road, but it's still in progress, that show. So, but once we hit Bob's Burgers.
The other shot of childhood that I've been indulging in all week was the new Ninja Turtles game. There's a new like 2D beat 'em up style video game called Shredder's Revenge that's out on all platforms. And it'll be out physically, I think, in August, but the digital is out right now. It's on Game Pass if you're an Xbox guy. I used a free trial to watch Beavis and Butthead on Paramount, and I used a free 14-day trial to play this game on Xbox Game Pass.
Got to take advantage of those free.
Fucking 2 things I love I get to enjoy for free for that, and at least Xbox Game Pass gives you 14-day free trial. So
for the game, do any of the voice cast, like are they on the game or?
Not the
voice...
animation style it even opens with like the theme song, and there's a very reminiscent animation of the 80s, early 90s cartoon, which is amazing. The voices, I will say, are off-putting because they're not. And they don't talk much. It's like a NES style beat 'em up. So it's just like "Cowabunga, hey dude, power up." That's just like little phrases like that. So they don't talk a lot.
Is it a scroller, I guess?
It's a side-scrolling beat 'em up. It's kind of like a Double Dragon. Or have you ever played Turtles in Time on the Super Nintendo? It was like the big one.
No, I never played that one. So
it's a great game, and this is very reminiscent of that. And you can play all the Turtles. You can play Splinter, April, and you can unlock Casey Jones. So
very cool.
And up to 6 players online.
Oh, that's really
play
cool.
With 5 other friends. So that's you can't really ask for more than that in a little beat 'em up game. Of course, it's only like 2.5 hours, 3 hours long, but all those NES games were if you got good at them.
Right. or some of the games were even faster.
Yes, where was one? Michelangelo said something, and I was like, "Ooh, that's not my Mikey." I don't know who the fuck that guy is, but like I said, you're not really there for the voices. It's just like pow, bang. So, but yes, check out Shredder's Revenge. It's selling incredibly well, so
Excellent.
I would not be shocked if they do another one. And years ago, I sold a bunch of my Ninja Turtles games for like NES and Super Nintendo because the prices were way the fuck up there. Mm-hmm. And now I'm glad I did because they're coming out with a collection called the Cowabunga Collection with all 14 of the other, like from NES to Sega, all those games are going to be in there. And so that market's about to crash. So I was like, I'm so glad I offloaded those before this collection was announced. So that's going to be exciting as well.
Sweet. Well, I guess we'll get back to this week's show though.
Climb back up on top of your wife and kids.
Hey now.
I mean, my wife and kids.
Well,
somebody's wife and kids.
Yeah, somebody's damn wife and kids.
Damon Wayans' wife and kids.
Exactly. Well, not his real wife and kids, but yes, but his TV wife and kids. Now the show was created actually, or co-created by Damon Wayans and Don Rio. Are you familiar with Don Rio?
No, this one I kind of left the research up to you, and I just watched way too much of it. And
okay, yeah. Well, Don Rio also created. He was one of the co-creators of Blossom, the John LaRoquette Show.
I knew it existed, but I never watched it.
And in newer fare, he also was a co-creator of The Ranch for Netflix.
I was not a fan of that.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one, so. Like if they came out with the blue cheese, then I would be into it. But The Ranch, nah.
Even the Italian, remember this shit? My Wife and Kids ran from 2001 to 2005 on ABC for 5 seasons. Basically, my entire high school span right there, those 4 years.
Yeah, and also the first season was basically, I guess, a mid-season replacement because it was only 11 episodes.
11, yeah.
Yeah, went from March through May. So
I watched the entire first season and 14 episodes of the second season, and then today I watched another like 5 sprinkled from 3, 4, 5.
And after watching some of those episodes myself, all I gotta say is, why'd you do that?
Yeah, well, and I brought this up to you like a month ago, right? And I was like, again, it was when I was cleaning, so it's like I'm kind of half paying attention.
Right.
That first season of this show is some of the most boring television I've ever seen.
It really is, and
it doesn't know what it wants to be.
Yeah, it doesn't know whether it wants to be full on funny comedy thing, like doing a moral to the story type of thing each episode or something. It's like you don't know where you're going.
So you got Damon Wayans, who's Michael Kyle. You got Tisha Campbell, who we all know and love from Martin. What's her real name? Jeanette or Janet?
Yeah,
and she goes by Jay.
And they call her Jay.
You got the son, George Gore II, who's Michael Jr.
Yeah.
Parker. I was like, Parker Posey.
Yeah, I know. It's like Parker McKenna Posey. Not to be confused with the other actress, Parker Posey.
And then for a minute in the first season, you had Jazz Raycole as Claire, but then after the first season, you get Jennifer Freeman as Claire.
Yeah, apparently they wanted to go with a little more. Yeah, they were hoping she was a little older, because they wanted to get into a little more mature subjects. And yeah, basically, I believe Jazz Raycole's mom was like, nah, and yeah.
Yeah, the second season opens with that episode with was it Raven Simone's a guest star?
Right.
And they wanted to do a pregnancy episode where her friend gets pregnant.
Correct.
And I guess the first girl's mother didn't approve of that, even if it wasn't her, it was her friend, and they didn't.
Right. But
I guess
yeah,
they were a very religious family.
Mm-hmm.
She went on to a bunch of stuff though. The first girl, she was in the show Soul Man, I guess. She was on the show Jericho that was on for a while. So I mean, she went on to a lot of stuff. But mommy was like, "No, my baby's not doing pregnancy episodes."
Right.
And it's not like they were pro teen pregnancy in the episode or anything, but
right. But of course, also in that first episode, second season, they do allude to someone else is playing Claire.
Yeah. Why you look different or something? They do the old Roseanne thing.
There's something definitely different about you.
I always love Roseanne when the first Becky came back. She said, "Where the hell have you been?" Yeah. So they try a little bit of that, but it's not as funny as the others. Actually, the second girl, tell you what, I had a little crush on her in high school. She's sexy as fuck. She was 1 year older than me too, I think. So it was okay.
Yeah, and
you're a little too old probably to have had a crush on her.
Yeah. And
but she was my age, so I was allowed.
Yeah, she was, besides My Wife and Kids, also she was in the film You Got Served, and also Johnston Family Vacation, and
that was with Cedric as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so Cedric worked with both Claires.
Right.
If the other one was on Soul Man. I'm sure a show we'll get to someday. Again, that Soul Man falls into the same category as this show. That's full of people that I think are funny and I enjoy them. I just can't really find much to admire, I guess.
Yeah, well, you know what? Why I also brought up the fact of this was an ABC sitcom was, I think, for you and me, the show that we've watched, as part of the pod so far, that we'd probably consider the lowest. What would you say?
8 Simple Rules?
8 Simple Rules. Same here. And this seems...
It is very similar,
it's not as grasping as 8 Simple Rules, but like you said, you have actually, such talent. Damon Wayans is funny. He gets in a lot of, jokes, in his, particular style. But sometimes it almost, seems like he or Tisha Campbell Martin, I think the two of them particularly, it's almost like they're trying to one-up each other, or it almost comes off sometimes like they're running over each other's,
you can
moments.
tell they're having fun. Which
yes.
Is
Definitely.
Those are actually to me the only moments of the show that are redeeming.
Yeah.
Well, at least the most redeeming, because you could tell those two were like really cool with each other and were having fun. So a lot of times, like I think when she's laughing, that's just her laughing. You know what I mean? And I mean, Damon Wayans is a funny guy, and this is another one of
He
those
is.
shows that I don't know that he belongs on a family sitcom so much because I feel like it hinders his style of comedy a bit. But
I don't know. I don't necessarily think it's like he shouldn't be on a family sitcom, but it's just there should have been more to it because like let's go over the premise. You know, the premise is he owns his own
what premise?
Exactly. He owns his own company. It's like a trucking company, which
I don't remember ever seeing a single episode at his workplace. Do we?
Right. And that's one of the things. Like, it's like, okay, there was one episode in season 1, the last episode, where his friend passes away.
The lawyer or something?
Yeah. No, accountant. The accountant.
The guy he talks to him, and then that day he dies and gets hit by a
literally
car.
After leaving him, the guy got hit by a taxi.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happens is at one point, one of his workers, one of the guys that delivers stuff for him, for his trucking company, stops by the house, sees his new hairpiece, and basically is like saying, it's like, oh yeah, I'm not sure how I'm gonna get this. I think it was a baby grand piano, like at the next stop to bring it up, like it's supposedly like a 3rd floor thing. And he's like, oh, do you mind me going with you? It's like, you don't see like anything at the destination of where they've gone. Basically, this show pretty much takes place in the house. A lot of it in the kitchen, living room. That it's an open format type of thing.
A lot of vacation episodes, though.
Yeah, definitely. There's vacation
Road
episodes,
trip episodes and vacation episodes.
There's a 3-part Hawaii in what is it, season 4 or 5?
3. I watched that today.
Oh, that was 3. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, but like I don't know. It's like
there's one in the last season where they go to the Bahamas too. It's like, wouldn't you just repeat the same shit you did in Hawaii if you did a Bahamas vacation one?
Right, but to
I didn't watch
extent,
it, but I'm like,
it's like
whatever.
But yeah, it's like we never get to see him at his workplace that
Not
he
that
owns.
I recall, no.
Yeah, it's just like he's kind of just around the house all the time. That's really it. He's around the house all the time, sitting usually around like the kitchen area, cracking jokes as someone comes in or goes out or whatever.
It's you know what's weird is I like the kids. Like I think the kids are all pretty good.
Yeah, I think
but they're all
good.
the same. They're all dumb kids.
Yeah. Yeah,
Junior is at first is like the dumb one. Then you have the sister Claire, who they kind of in the first season almost try to make her like awkward but trying to be preppy. But then that girl disappears, and then they bring in the hotter girl,
right?
Who they're trying to like
just
sex
full of
up
herself
awkwardly.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's her. But it's kind of like one notish. Junior is dumb. She's full of herself. And the little kid's precocious. It's like,
but
okay.
Then as it goes, they also dumb her down too.
Mm-hmm.
To where then Claire is also dumb. And Katie, for fuck's sake, the first 2 seasons, Katie is nothing but poop jokes.
Yeah.
The little girl is all poop jokes.
Poop jokes, or they're like Michael, who's played by Damon Wayans.
They're trying to have sex and she walks in or something.
Yeah, like it's all innuendo jokes around the kid. And like, the little kid doesn't know what they're talking about, so she's thinking, it's like, oh, ride the roller coaster. Yeah, it's like, no, that ain't what they're talking about.
I will say it's an easy show to watch because you don't think one bit. It's not. It doesn't hurt to watch. I don't think it doesn't feel corny a lot. Sometimes in the early season it does. Once in a while.
Yeah, earlier on, I think it. But
the first season for sure feels like it's got those, like you said, the morals at the end. It's trying to push. They do get rid of that though.
Come season 2, it definitely they streamlined it a little more.
My first laugh didn't literally show up until maybe a third of the way into season 2. I think it might have been the one where he thinks the neighbor guy's spying on him in the bathroom.
Okay, I did watch that one.
He's always like shitting in the dark. Because he thinks and I started to chuckle there, and I was like, okay, they're you could tell they're trying to add a little more edge, like a tiny bit of edge, a little bit more of his comedy. And they stopped ending with that moment with Junior. It's always ended with Junior in the fucking room. Like, I'm your dad and I love you. And I don't,
Right.
Once that stuff kind of faded away and they started letting him be a Wayans almost.
Mm-hmm.
But to be fair, I bet you that was a lot of network interference at that point
I'm totally with you that I'm sure it was like a bunch of executives behind the scenes like, we can't go there.
We need the heart.
Yeah, we need the heart. And the thing that drives me nuts in, like most times when like the heartfelt moment when it's just like so predictable with that music. Like and by the way, that's another thing that I think threw me off with this show. There's like there's no opening theme song. It's like, oh, okay, all right, we're just right into it. Okay.
But like I mentioned last time, this is that beginning of they've cut now so many minutes off of your showtime that a lot of writers, I think, at this point were like, fuck it. Especially if you had a new show that didn't already have an established theme. Right. They were like, let's not even waste our minutes on a fucking theme song anymore because. And you'll notice that a lot with these early 2000s and on shows. Like, if I see a new show now with a theme song, I'm shocked because it's very rare.
Yeah, well, I think one of the shows that we watched that we thoroughly enjoyed that was, like, similar. I think the beginning had, a longer theme, but then after it was just, like, a very, it was Raising Hope. Raising Hope that had that, it was open on my book or whatever, and you're like, dang. And it's like, all right. That's
right.
very to the point. Yeah, okay.
Well, it's the same guy who did My Name is Earl, and like I said, their theme was just, My Name is Earl. Bing, go on. Time to go.
God. It's like, that reminds me of, like, theme songs. Ever watch Gary Shandling? Ever watch his old show? The Gary Shandling Show?
Never seen the Gary Shandling Show, but I watched a hell of a lot of Larry Sanders.
Yeah, Larry Sanders, definitely. Everyone watched a little Larry Sanders, but...
We'll do that show eventually.
Oh, yeah.
I have the box set of that.
I think, actually, we need to do both shows just to show the contrast, but the theme song to Gary Shandling's show was just, like, introducing himself, and this is what the show's about. It's like, this is the theme to Gary Show. How you doing? It's like...
Well, I told you I want to do, like, F Troop. F Troop's got like a 3-minute fucking song explaining the entire premise of the show.
The Civil War was new and quite accidentally. It's like
okay, we get it.
And there's a whole bridge and everything. It's like where Indian fights are colorful sights and nobody takes a licking.
But you're also talking about back then, episodes were like 30 minutes long, you know? Because the commercials were built into the fucking show most of the time, That's
true. Like, older shows had those, like you said, the built-ins where it's like a character from the show. It's like hell, even the Flintstones. It's like, Fred, nothing beats a pack of Winstons. It's like, wait, hold on. The Flintstones are encouraging smoking. Okay.
That's why I think the DVDs for like I Love Lucy are some of the best ever because they let you watch it the way it aired if you choose to.
Oh, that's great.
So I told you the satin sheet with I Love Lucy wasn't there until reruns. So you can actually, if you choose to on the DVD, you can watch it with the like, hey, we're here for Philip Morris and all that shit, where they do that and there's no heart of the satin sheet or any of that. Like you get to watch it. And then like middle of the episode, Lucy will just be like, Tide. I love Tide. It's so funny, dude.
Oh my God.
It's just those weird nostalgia things we didn't get to see.
No.
Because by the time we were coming around, that stuff was fading away. And you had now, which you still have, I don't know who created it, but the 3-act structure of the 3 commercial breaks, your opening bumper, your end credit bumper,
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to run an ad over your credits too, so no one can even read your name.
Exactly,
Fuck you.
Yeah. We won't be able to see anything in the credits. And God forbid you have some kind of like closing theme or like some closing dialogue. Yeah, we're going to miss some of that. Sorry.
So yeah, I thought you would feel the same way I did about this show. I feel like it's a non-threatening, easy to watch show.
Yeah,
you don't really
easily goes down, but you don't feel full and fulfilled after watching it.
Yeah, it is weird because like I said, I do like the characters. I think the characters are fine. If they were my friends, like if that was my friend's family, I would have no problem hanging around, shooting the shit with that family, hanging out. They're fun, they're fine. But as far as like the grand scheme of sitcoms, this is right there somewhere just in the middle. It doesn't hurt to watch though, which
It doesn't hurt to watch. It's well, I was saying Full House, how very what was the word, like that
agonizing it can be.
well, besides that, but it was very formulaic. Like everything was just like, like paint by numbers. All right, and then Uncle Jesse comes and sings a little song or something, and it's like, oh, here's the heartfelt.
It's the Beach Boys.
Yeah, it's like, and here's the heartfelt moment. Okay, yeah, then here's the heartfelt moment music, and all right. It was so formulaic. This is semi-formulaic. It's like it's formula, but with Damon Wayans jokes thrown inside of it.
Go ahead and tell me the best episode you watched, in your opinion.
Best episode. Let's see.
How many did you watch?
Like 10 of them, and I watched 3 episodes of season 1. Why
That's poor choice. Yeah, I know.
I know. It's like why I watched that
like,
much of season 1. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was just gonna watch like 1 and 2, but
so you did feel the tonal change though in season 2, somewhere early on.
Very much
2.
so.
Yeah.
And in fact, on the what is it, Episode Ninja, that like I looked at, it's like, oh, best episodes of this particular series. Well, Episode Ninja, most of the better episodes actually they showed were in season 2. The one that was funny, and I think they ranked it like highest, although I don't know if I'd rank it as high, but what was it? I think it said Papa Said Knock You Out. It's the one where he's he's trying to get back into shape. So like Michael Damon Wayans, he takes up boxing. He's like, he's got the heavy bag in the garage. He's got the speed bag, doing the jump rope. And Junior thinks that Claire's boyfriend is trying to basically, have sex with her. And like every...
Which he probably was.
Well, you never know. But he thinks like, oh, okay, I got to protect my sister's honor. So he asks his dad to show him, some moves. He wants to learn some boxing too. He's pretty pitiful on, between the speed bag, between the heavy bag, jump rope, all of it. He's pretty pitiful. And then he's doing like a little sparring with Dad. And his dad happens to drop his hands like to say something or whatever, or he's just like, and Junior happens to catch him under the chin and he knocks him out.
Yeah, there was a handful I recall in those early ones where they were really pitting Junior against his father.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned the Hawaii 3-parter. There's a lot of multi-parters on this show.
Yeah, I noticed that.
This is right up there with Night Court, where they had a shit ton of 2 and 3-parters. I think there was a couple 4-parters on Night Court. There was a bunch of 2-parters and I think at least 2 3-parters on this show.
Yeah. Well, I think
the Hawaii one I watched.
Hawaii one was 3.
Strangely, on a couple of the lists I saw, part 1 of Hawaii was on a lot of the lists, but I didn't see the other parts on there as much.
And you know what was strange? On the lists, a lot of the, like when it was a 2-parter, it was part 2 was the one that was usually on the list. Like one of the ones that I watched both parts was with Junior and the girlfriend, where they do it in Michael and Janet's bed.
Oh God.
Yeah. So, and Michael throws him out of the house. So, throws him out of the house. But what it is he's living in the backyard in a tent.
The one article I read said that Junior becoming a father was the downfall of the show.
Yeah, which was in season 4.
A lot of people said that once he knocked up the girlfriend, every episode became about the baby, getting married, the birth. the raising the kid, and they said it changed the show. I didn't watch enough in that final 2 seasons, I don't think, to see that. And the ones I chose didn't. Ironically, all the ones I chose in season 4 and 5, there was one line where he's like, "Why don't you go back out to the garage with your pregnant girlfriend?" Like they would just mention her, but she wasn't in any of the episodes I watched. So
well, it was interesting too. Season 3, his girlfriend Vanessa was played by Megan Good, but then season 4 and 5 with
she was
the
sexy
pregnancy
back in the day too.
was Brooklyn Sedano.
Okay,
So,
she wasn't in any of the ones I watched, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, well,
I watched the one with Betty White where she's the maid.
Oh, okay, I didn't see that one.
That was a fun one. She's basically Mary Poppins. She's like perfect in every way.
Which was Betty White?
Miss Betty White. God, I miss Betty White already.
Yep.
I watched one called Illegal Smile in the 4th season, where they get Botox.
Oh God!
And they're like stuck, like in the most horrendous smiling faces.
Oh God!
And he has to go to court over a parking ticket.
And with that smiling face.
With that fucking, and the judge is like, "I hold you in contempt," but at the same time, the guy who gave him the Botox, he's threatening to sue him, and he's like, "Look at me!" He's got this big prosthetic fucking Joker smile on, right? And he's like, "Oh, just take these muscle relaxers, you'll feel fine." So when he goes to court, he's all fucking. Not only does he have the big smile, he's all fucked up too.
Nice.
They're like, "Sir, you've been drinking," and that had a few laughs in it. But yeah, he had this weird smile, and then the wife had a weird stretched out fucking smile.
Yeesh. Well,
I watched.
Did you watch the end of the series?
The final, no.
Okay. Yeah, this one ends on a cliffhanger.
Well, of course it does. So it was canceled. It wasn't.
Yes, the show was canceled because apparently they had promised Damon Wayans that, you'll be back for the next season, and ABC canceled. But
really, that is surprising because there was a time when the Wayans were a powerhouse.
Oh yeah.
And you would think at this point, especially like his brothers had their show for probably too many years on WB or whatever. They were doing movies like Keenan. Did Keenan produce this show at all? No,
Keenan was not. From what I saw,
their production logo was at the end, so I don't know if all the brothers are part of that or not.
Yeah, that's a good question. Like all the.
It's like Wayans Co. or something, right? At the end, they always show the 4 brothers.
But yeah, I didn't see that the rest of the Wayans brothers really had a hand really in it. But except for that logo.
There was an early one where he guest starred as. Was he his brother or
I
cousin?
think it was brother. Yeah.
I think he guest starred and he was like the more like, I got the hot girls and the money and that kind of thing. But again, they're so watered down for ABC. And talking about A Simple Rules, I get you see John Ritter, who's a family-friendly, lovable human being, and you go, we're gonna give you a family sitcom. And I understand that decision wholeheartedly.
Oh, very
the
much.
Wayans brothers, they're hilarious. They're hilarious, but I don't understand why you would go
the family
let's
route.
take you and put you into a family sitcom. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, that's like the comedian. I don't know if you know Billy Connolly, the Scottish comedian.
Well, yeah, we discussed him on Head of the Class.
Yeah, it's like between. Well, okay, yeah, he was Head of the Class, but he also had a show Billy, which was was also a family.
A spin-off.
Yeah, and it had what's his name from?
Were you there for the Head of the Class episode? We talked about that.
Well, yeah, no, but what I'm saying is, as far as going with this,
that was somebody else.
Family sitcom type of thing, it's like, okay, yeah, he's more of an edgy Scottish comic, so let's put him in a family sitcom. It's like, no.
It's like when you try to shove Carlin into a family sitcom or something.
Yeah.
It's like when I watched Kevin Smith's Jersey Girl, and George Carlin almost makes you cry. You're like, stop it. You stop. You're not allowed to do that.
Come on, you're George Carlin. You're Rufus. It's like you're not. You're the guy from Shining Time Station. Not.
Yeah. You watch Kevin Smith's Jersey Girl, and George Carlin will, if you let him, he will pull at your fucking heartstrings, man. And
Oh
you
yeah.
go, no, you quit that shit right now. I will not allow it. But he's great. He's actually great in that movie.
Yeah, like you said, I don't know if the family sitcom was the right vehicle for Damon Wayans. Again, all these actors, actresses are good in their own merits, but it's just like
I think Claire
it goes down easy, but
Junior are funny. Like even Katie, for what she's given, is pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the little boyfriend they brought in was hilarious.
Yeah, he actually Franklin. Yeah, he's funny.
They bring him in season 4 maybe, something like that.
Yes, season 4.
And he's this
5.
He reminds you of some kid that would show up on like the Cosby Show.
Mm-hmm.
Just this little brilliant as fuck little kid who's the neighbor kid, and he's got a crush on Katie, and they start dating as much as you can date. She's what, 7? I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah.
I'm terrible with looking at a kid and guessing their age.
No, but no, it's true. Like, and he plays, if you want to say, he starts playing the Wilson, if you want to say, from like Home Improvement to.
I was gonna say Urkel. He's like a better, smarter Urkel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, and not as like.
Well, not smarter in the character is more intelligent, but smarter written, I would say.
Oh yeah, definitely more smarter written than Urkel, Steve Urkel.
This kid didn't show up with a fucking Urkel bot or anything.
I still love
Turn into Stefan.
I still love the one episode of The Simpsons. It's like, and it comes out every Friday, like Urkel, and he's like like Urkel. but
So,
yeah, he's the advice giver.
Well, are you gonna recommend the show to everyone you meet?
My take on it, it's like, it's okay. It's nothing like, oh God, you have to go see this, watch this sitcom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and definitely watch this episode and check out this. It's one like, oh, if it's on, yeah, it could be background. It doesn't hurt anything. It doesn't,
I'll say skip the first season.
Definitely skip the first
at least third of the second season, because nothing exciting happens there. If you want to dabble, I mean, strangely,
what is this, a drug? Hey, give me some of that wife and kids.
the first hit's free. Strangely, it's one of those shows that we talked about it. Actually, again, 8 Simple Rules. The episodes with the guest stars are the best episodes.
Yeah.
So, like, for me, the maid episode, Betty White, elevates the show. Mm-hmm. I think it's called, like, Michael Works Out or Michael Joins the Gym. Terry Crews comes in, elevates the episode. So, yeah, the show is perfectly average, but every once in a while, you do get somebody in that brings it up a tiny notch or two.
Yeah.
Even, the one with the smile, when he goes to court, he ends up in a jail cell with Lou Ferrigno.
Oh my God.
Lou Ferrigno is no huge draw, I don't think, for a lot of people.
No,
but even the scene he's in, I was excited because it's Lou Ferrigno.
It's the Hulk, or Kevin and Carrie's neighbors. Oh, no, Duncan Carrie's neighbors.
I love him on the King of Queens. Yeah,
King
we'll
of
definitely
Queens,
talk about that show someday.
Oh yeah.
But in this episode, he's got the smile on, so he looks at him and he goes, "Are you coming on to me?" And he goes, "No." He goes, "I think that smile's, your heart speaking out loud." No.
But yeah, it's definitely, when it takes, like guest stars to really raise the level of interest in episodes. Yeah.
And that is funny that 8 Simple Rules organically came up, because we did have the same exact thing to say about that show. Same network around the same time.
Yeah.
Wasn't that like a 02 show or 01 show?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was. And this is why I led with the ABC show, because it's like almost like, okay, let's throw these, great comedians and, like guys known for, like funny family sitcom. It's like, thank God they didn't do that to Norm.
Well, it's incredible that this went 5 seasons at this point.
Yeah, I was surprised, and like some of the seasons actually like 2, 3,
and there was
4.
a spinoff with Dave Chappelle, right? No, I'm just kidding.
but some of them had like the season 4 had 30 episodes. I'm like, oh my God. But again, 2004, they still were doing that for a season.
That, you know what that tells me, though? That doesn't tell me that this was an amazing show. That tells me that some other show was really bad and got canceled, and they needed to fill those slots.
Exactly. It became time
because
filler.
Actually, there's like 2 clip shows in this.
I didn't check out the clip shows.
There's a 2-part clip show called like The Empty Nest or something, where they just literally it's a 2-part clip show. That's fucking lazy. We need some more fucking episodes.
There's one thing I want to bring up to you that I don't know if you noticed, because this is something that usually catches your eye. Did you find any holiday shows?
Not that I recall. No.
There are none.
Even when I was scrolling through, I don't remember seeing any. When I was trying to pick what to watch, I'll usually, like you said, I'll usually pick one of those to see how they handle it. No, I didn't see any.
Yeah, that was the thing that I thought was like kind of weird. It's like, oh, well, there is no Christmas episode. Oh, there is no Thanksgiving episode. Oh, there is no Halloween episode. Oh, well, okay, they didn't do the holidays on this one, which is usually such a go-to for a lot of sitcoms.
That's one of those, though, like some shows are just made to sell that packet at the end of the series. When you go, okay, we hit enough episodes to do, rerun syndication. This was 124 episodes, I think? Yeah, 124 episodes. So they're only 24 over the usual packet. Like, we're going to sell it to reruns. And I know that, like Anger Management, I think, did that with the Charlie Sheen show. His deal was, we're going to do 100 no matter what. I'm doing this. You're going to give me 100 episodes, and I don't care what the fuck you do with them. I don't care if you air them or not, but we're doing 100 so that if you want to do syndication, we get that money too. But when they do stuff like that, they will typically avoid those annual holidays and shit like that so that they can air year round.
Yeah, I get it.
So I wonder if that was part of this where they're like, hey, if we might not make it to 100. Maybe they didn't think they were going to make it that far, and they're like, oh, if we have holiday episodes, those won't be able to air as much.
It's possible, but yeah, it was just one of the interesting facts that I read about this show. It's like, one interesting note. It's unusual for a sitcom of the show's length, like you said.
And a family sitcom.
No point did they have an episode centering on a major holiday.
Not even Halloween, huh?
Nope. Yeah,
with kids, it's...
That's the surprising thing, because there's so much already there for you. Now just connect it to your show.
Well, that's why that one Lucy Christmas episode is so rare to see, because that wasn't sold with syndication because it's a Christmas episode. So that one didn't air for a lot of years. That's why I think it was early 90s or something. They colorized it and finally aired it again.
Wow.
But yeah, like for a lot of years on TV, those episodes were looked at like a fucking pariah. Like,
damn.
Oh, well, what now? We got to take it out of the rotation, and if there's anything story related in there, it that gap's open for story point, because now we're airing every weekday at 5 p.m. or whatever on TBS, whatever network's re-airing this shit.
Right.
So yeah, there were shows that would purposefully not do that. So I'm guessing that's probably one of their things, especially when they just barely made it over the 100.
True.
But
if you miss it, you're not missing anything.
yeah, right. If you miss it, you didn't miss it.
Right. If people would like to see, particular sitcoms, us take on different sitcoms, where can they reach us, Jay?
They can email us at sitcommyface@gmail.com. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/sitcommyface. They can even comment on the YouTube page. We're on, if you just search Sitcom My Face podcast on YouTube, you'll find us.
Sweet.
You can find Nick over on Twitch at NetNick191. If you're not watching there now, you should be. Follow. All that fun stuff. You can find me on Twitch, Bidwell Fogg. I've been streaming some Evil Dead, the game, again lately.
Oh, nice.
I'll probably be... I did stream some Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. I'll probably do the second half of that pretty soon here, before my 14-day free trial is up.
Gotta get that time in.
And I was gonna put up probably. I think we're gonna do a little break in between our season here. So we're gonna do next week. What are we doing?
We're going to be doing News Radio, I believe, is the next one on the plate.
One of my favorite shows. Probably
Great show.
Probably top 10. Probably top 10 for me, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm. But it's been a while since I've watched, so it'll be interesting watching back, given the time it was, and yeah.
I'm excited to revisit that. I'm glad you chose that. And then we will be doing our season ending. We're going to do 2 episodes. The first one is going to be a countdown of our favorites. And we're going to discuss amongst ourselves whether we're going to go personal favorite or quality favorite.
That's true. Yeah, we're going to have to break down the criteria there.
The criteria.
Yeah.
Right. Because there's some shows that I love that I know aren't quite as good as some of the others. So we're going to discuss that.
Nostalgia bait.
Right, exactly. And
yeah,
then the final
every once in a while, I like to nostalgia bait myself, but I've
been nostalgia baiting this whole episode.
But now, what's a true? Okay, this is a well done show versus, well, this show was done.
And our final episode, actually, we'll save that. We'll save that as a little surprise for the final episode.
Sweet.
And then, but yeah, we want to know what you want to see for the next season. I threw out a few things last week that I wanted to talk about. He threw out a few things he wants to talk about, and there's a million things out there. I mean, obviously, if people keep dying, we're gonna have to go back to that well. But
of course,
right now, we've been safe for a minute.
Exactly.
And I think that as a little bonus, we might do to honor Ray Liotta. We might do his episodes of Just Shoot Me as a commentary, right?
Yes.
He did 2 episodes of Just Shoot Me, which is a show that we both love. So we haven't covered the show fully on Sitcom.
No, we haven't done,
but we will.
Yeah, because Just Shoot Me still has one of my favorite Christmas episodes. So,
yep.
and we've already done one of their Halloween episodes.
So yeah, Ray Liotta, R.I.P. And we haven't forgot about you. We will get to you, my friend.
Nope.
We're gonna do those episodes probably the next few weeks here.
Excellent.
So, yeah. Oh, check out this lovely gentleman's podcast.
Jersey
Stories?
Jersey Stories.
I have started editing again for Hard to Swallow, my old show where I've been doing more best of episodes.
Excellent.
So I'm trying to dig into the archives, and I just posted 3 of them that will be dropping the next 3 weeks consecutively. So there, at least for the next 3 weeks, there will be episodes. And once I get back to editing some more, we'll keep going from there. But yeah, I have 165 episodes of
awesome
drunken bliss to go through and figure out what I have to cut out because it's not acceptable anymore. No, I'm just kidding.
No, hey.
The world has changed, my friend, since 2013 and 14. So.
Oh yeah, well, just like we were watching these different sitcoms, and you can see the changes in what was acceptable and not.
That's true. Very true. So, anything else you want to add, my friend?
I think that's it for now. Have a happy 4th to everyone coming up there. So
yes, happy 4th. I can't bring the dog out anymore. He gets scared of the fireworks, unfortunately.
Poor pup.
But yes. So, oh yeah, if it ain't fixed, don't broke it.
Yes. In the immortal words of Jay Bidwell.
That came from what, the Honeymooners episode?
I believe so.
It was a mainstay for a minute. That was the sad part of the show. I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find any not so fun facts. There was nothing sad about anybody.
No, it was pretty. Yeah, that's just. That's a strange thing. It was just like, okay, all right.
How dare you all be happy and successful? This is bullshit. We need some fodder. Damn it.
Exactly.
Well, what would we like our listeners to do?
Well, until next time, I hope they will all sitcom
my face.
Bye-bye.
Happy 4th, kids.